Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Today is a turning point. Today was historically bad for President Trump.
Today was a turning point.
A turning point.
We're at a turning point here.
The beginning of the end for the Trump presidency.
The beginning of the end.
And breaking news.
We have another bombshell.
Mike Pence might have to assume the office of the presidency.
The call for impeachment.
Rumblings of the word impeachment.
Breaking news.
Another bombshell out of the White House.
I believe this is the beginning of the end.
I do too.
It's really the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
He may be feeling the walls closing in on him.
All the walls closing in on him.
The walls closing in on him.
Breaking news, a new bombshell.
One astrologer says this means the beginning of the end for President Donald Trump.
The beginning of the end of the Trump presidency.
Trump will resign.
Trump is going to resign.
Is this the tipping point? I know we've said it over and over.
You think this is a tipping point?
And over and over.
This is a tipping point.
And over and over.
Breaking news, President Trump off the rails.
It was the beginning of the end today.
It's the beginning of the end.
It reminds me a lot of the last days of Nixon.
Breaking news tonight, new bombshell.
This is the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
The walls are closing in.
The walls closing in.
The walls closing in.
Breaking overnight bombshell.
This is a very dramatic day, and I think it might be near a tipping point. Do you think this is a tipping point?
This is unbelievable. This is remarkable. Have you ever seen anything like this?
His presidency is crippled.
December 1st, 2017, you can mark it down. This is the day that everything changed.
We begin with the bombshell.
The beginning of the end?
The beginning of the end.
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 In fact, if this were a football game, we're in the third quarter. May even be the beginning of the end.
We begin tonight with the bombshell. Donald Trump is in a lot of trouble.
Trump is in trouble.
The president will resign.
Another hour, another bombshell.
This is a tipping point.
Trump's going down.
This president could be impeached.
I do not think the president will serve out his term. Resignation. I don't think this president is going to serve out his term. Mr. Trump will not serve out his term. He will not serve out his term. No way. No how.
Breaking news.
Absolute bombshell.
I think Donald Trump is in trouble.
Donald Trump is not. He's done. And it's over.
It's over.
The walls closing in.
The walls closing in. This is going to be the Achilles heel.
Breaking news tonight. I expect Trump to depart.
This week will be the watershed week. Trump is in big trouble.
Trump's in a lot of trouble.
It's a sign of a terrified old man who feels the
Walls
Closing in.
The walls
are increasingly
Closing in on him.
Tonight, the walls
are closing in.
today changed everything. This is the beginning
of the end.
today, the biggest
Tipping point for the Trump administration.
What a historic day. The bombshells, they fell.
It's entropy and it's crumbling internally.
He's underwater. He feels
The walls closing in.
Could his testimony be a turning point?
We may be at a tipping point.
It's the beginning of
The end.
The beginning.
the end.
Another bombshell.
Bombshell. Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
This is a bombshell.
It is a bombshell.
I am beginning to resent the word bombshell.
If all you watched was mainstream news, you would probably think that Trump is performing poorly. But a brief rundown of what is actually taking place might shock you. In 2016, Donald Trump took up his first ever job for no money. His newest occupation of President of the United States would see him become the first ever leader to do it for free, opting not to take the $400,000 annual salary. Since working in the Oval Office, Trump has reached several milestones that not many pundits saw coming. Unemployment currently sits at 3.7%, which is the lowest unemployment in almost 50 years, with female unemployment reaching its lowest rate in 65 years. African American unemployment has fallen to a record low of 5.9%, along with record lows for Asian and Hispanic American communities. Under President Trump, job openings have outnumbered the unemployed for the first time on record, and since the election, a staggering 4.6 million Americans have been lifted off of food stamps.
Food stamps.
Trump has also delivered on his promise to bring back manufacturing jobs. In 2018, he added 284,000 jobs, the most added in a year since 1997. He also required over 185 companies' signatures for the Pledge to America workers, which promises almost 6.5 million new training and career opportunities. His withdrawal of the dangerous Trans-Pacific Partnership was nothing short of heroic in our world of globalist politicians.
Trans-Pacific Partnership has giant implications for working families right here in Portland, Oregon, as well as across the country. Today, the negotiators are meeting in San Diego to finalize the secret terms of this agreement. The 1% has total access to all negotiating documents while the 99% is shut out. This is not what democracy looks like.
He has continued this gallant decision-making with his $250 billion tariffs announced as a response to China's unfair trading practices. The milestones don't end there. Trump's hard stance on controlled borders has seen positive results. In 2018, over 256,000 illegal immigrants were removed, with the majority of them being convicted criminals. His empowerment of the US military has correspondingly resulted in the demise of ISIS, with ISIS losing almost all of its territory in the Middle East as of 2019, and American troops now being brought back to their families.
I found someone, and I don't know if this lady belongs to you. Does this lady belong to you, Lulu? Huh? She belongs to you guys? You sure?
This can be linked to his attitudes towards NATO, whom he formally convinced to join the coalition to defeat ISIS. The president's positive work in the Middle East can be recognised further with the withdrawal of the one-sided Iran nuclear deal. This restoration of American leadership abroad continues, with the historic peace and denuclearization summits with Chairman Kim Jong-un. Trump's milestones have continued into the reforming of his own government. In our world of fake news and civil unrest, Trump completed the Department of Defense's first ever audit in a show of great accountability and transparency. His government transformation was seen further, with the implementation of the 5-year ban on lobbying for White House employees and a lifetime ban on lobbying for overseas nations. Record jobs, global peace breakthroughs, stronger borders, the reinstallation of tariffs, and the transformation towards a more transparent government.
And we've never had, and I have to tell you, as a country, we have never been more successful than we are exactly right now today. The numbers coming out are beyond what anyone ever thought possible.
All for not a single penny. Although I don't think Trump will be regarded as the greatest US president anytime soon.